Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back today with another episode of r/WeWontCallYou, a recruiting conversation, response to a cold outreach email. I'm sorry, it's my job. I'm available to perform on stage and promote my new album. Unless you have a position like that to fill, I'll keep my 9 to 5, thank you. They email back 2 days later. Dear recruiter, a hilarious turn of events. I was laid off a day after messaging you. I'd like to learn more about any open positions you're looking to fill. Lastly, enjoy this Bandcamp link to my album. I'm Oh, I mean, hey. I feel like the recruiter probably wouldn't necessarily enjoy helping you out so much now, just because it was kind of a sarcastic response in the beginning. But I mean, you did humbly admit what happened, and I don't know, maybe they will find some charm and enjoy your album and give you a chance. I'd both give the album a listen and bring him in for an interview. He's able to see the humor of a situation and swallow his ego to reach out. Solid traits. His initial reply to a cold email was at least polite, and he replied, "I'm not seeing anything negative here." The last sentence of first response can be read either as polite or snarky. That's the deciding factor here. He said, "Thank you. It seems polite to me. If he's a Jersey, you'll find out in the interview." Edit, jerk, not Jersey. I'm okay with it though. Thank you does not make it polite. Having read that as a Brit, it seems sarcastic and snarky to me. The lack of a comma only convinces me further. Also, he said that when he didn't have anything to lose from being rude. In an interview, he needs the job and will act his best. So, what do you guys think? I feel like it was probably a little bit snarky, honestly, the first one. What do you guys think? Do you think it was snarky, or do you think it was like the politest reply to a recruiter in the case that you don't want what they're recruiting for? Wondering if I messed up my interview. What I thought was a good gesture, I was later told is bribery. Edited, removed insanely long backstory. Previous job was company of 15 people, was used to bringing snacks out of habit, worked there a long time, have not worked in over 8 months. Current situation. This happened yesterday and the day before. It's a dentist office. 2 dentists, 1 hygienist, 2 dental assistants, and needing a new receptionist. I've been a receptionist for over half of my life. The first interview was after business hours with just the dentists. It was fantastic. I am qualified and I have the right attitude they were looking for. They set me up for a working interview for the next day to meet the team and see the responsibilities I would be covering. I was excited. These 2 dentists were some of the most kind and professional people I have ever met. My initial interview ended up lasting almost 2 hours because they were so engaging. Even if I didn't get the job, I really enjoyed meeting both of them. So as a thank you, I made a no-bake cherry cheesecake and brought it with me to the working interview the next day. I offered it to their small team as a gratitude for the previous interview, which did go really well. I have never done anything like that before. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thought. The working interview went fantastic. The team seemed amazing to work for. I will be well qualified for the programs they used, and my personality was really able to shine and was in sync with the other team members. I got a lot of thank you for the cheesecake, although no one dug in. They were very busy people. I got home and posted my feelings of the interview on my Facebook page, only family and very close friends. I did include bringing the company cheesecake in my post. It was super positive. I woke up to several people expressing that bringing a cheesecake was a form of bribery and seemed to be too much for an interview. I never thought of that, but looking back, I can absolutely see where they're coming from. I got used to working in a close company, and that was just a natural and random thing I would do for them. So I thought nothing of it when interviewing with this even smaller company. I guess I'm trying to determine if this is a situation where the company will think that was a sweet gesture, or if it is a situation where they won't call me because I used bribery to get the job. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for taking the time to read this. Update on the cheesecake bribe or nice gesture. I've been so busy working that I've not been able to update you guys until now. I got a call the very next day, so technically this post maybe shouldn't be in We Won't Call You. I have gotten settled to my new position, and it turns out that everyone loved the cheesecake. One thing I did not consider while I was worried about what I had done were dietary restrictions and making someone possibly feel left out. I got lucky with this group that no one had any, but I will proceed with caution if I am ever in an interview position again. Thank you to the amazing Redditor who made that point. I didn't want to get my coworkers in the habits of my sweets, so I started to set boundaries. First cheesecake, then muffins the following week, then nothing. Then I got my own surprise. They bring in foods too. Some days there are donuts, some days chocolate bars, some days burritos. I think I've found the place where I fit in, you guys. The only downside to bringing a no-bake cherry cheesecake to a second job interview as a thank you for the first, I will never know if I got the job based on merit alone or if it was the cheesecake that won their hearts. Thank you all for your input in my earlier post, and thanks for reading my cheesy update. Not gonna lie, I don't think people are in the habit of giving jobs to people just because they brought them cheesecake. I would assume that it was because you fit in really well, and ironically, maybe part of the fact that you felt comfortable bringing them food and that is part of their work culture already, they maybe felt that you even more fit in from that. But I don't think like they would have been like, well, this person brought us cheesecake, so let's hire them. I don't It sounded like you were very qualified and were gelling really well, and they just wanted you there just as well as you felt like it would be a good fit, so I wouldn't worry about it. But I guess I wouldn't necessarily bring food until I was like officially working there, but that's just because I'd be uncomfortable personally, not because I think it would be a bribe. At least he wasn't like, okay, I'm in. Had a grueling phone interview last Friday full of tough technicals with an MD and VP. Did pretty well, and after hanging up, I looked at my roommate in relief and said, F me in the A and call me a slutty B, let's go rage. Except I didn't hang up. I accidentally put him on speaker. I heard the MD say, excuse me? And in panic, I ended the call. Never heard from them again. Oh my god. Guys, make sure that you hang up things for sure. Like, watch that screen. Watch it. Make sure that it is completely, like, it tells you the call has ended and it just disappears. Because if you do not, things like this will happen. Oh my god, that's so awkward. Now this one was cross-posted from r/am_I_the_a-hole. Aita for telling this college guy's mom that her coming into his interview cost him the job. I'm a hiring manager at a tech company, and I was hiring for summer internships a little while ago. We had a guy, about 19 years old, applying for a summer internship between his freshman and sophomore years of college. It was a virtual interview over Zoom because of the pandemic. A minute or two in, when I was introducing myself, his mom came in and introduced herself, and started talking about her son's work ethic. I thought it was a little strange. I said something polite about wanting to hear from him. She just didn't get the hint and kept coming into camera frame during the interview and interrupting her son to answer questions for him. I asked a few technical questions, which he seemed to answer well, and then cut the interview fairly short. I thought that was all over and done with until I'd gotten an email from a woman, a month later, asking about her son's application. She seemed offended he hadn't gotten an acceptance or rejection. It bothered me. I felt bad for the kid, honestly. Way back when I was a teenager, my mom used to pull the same crap, but luckily she only did that when I was 15 and working for a day camp, not when I was an adult applying for engineering jobs. But I felt like this poor kid was getting his chances ruined because his mom wasn't giving him the chance to apply on his own. I sent an email back saying I was not at liberty to send information about an application to anybody but the applicant. I also asked HR to send an email to the kid saying, sorry, but we're not making him an offer. It is something we usually do, but his rejection email must have slipped through the cracks with all the pandemic craziness. Anyway, after we sent that, I got a phone call from his mom. She had a forwarded copy of the email, and she was demanding answers. I said that I could not comment on the guy's performance in the interview to her, as she was not the applicant. If he wanted to reach out to me, I was happy to give him some feedback. However, I could say that regardless of his performance, her presence in the interview took him out of consideration for the position. We were looking for an independent and self-driven person for the position, and for that reason, it is important to see an applicant speak for themselves, follow up themselves, etc. I also said that, as a piece of advice, every hiring manager I've met in my career who sees someone other than the applicant answering questions during an interview, following up on the applicant's behalf, etc., would also put their resume in the do not hire pile, since while the applicant may be skilled and motivated, they need the ability to demonstrate those traits themselves. She freaking blew up at me over that, kinda cussing me out to the point where I hung up. Oof, I could not imagine my parent being with me during an interview. That is so cringy and awkward, and of course, he was probably stuck in the home with her because of all this, so it's not like he could have just went and left her behind in secret or something. Oh my gosh, that is so awkward and embarrassing. Off to a good start on your app, buddy. If you got $200 from me somehow, I'll have money for car insurance to drive to work. Doesn't matter. What you got in your St. Paul? Entry level. We are a staffing service, sir, not a free money machine. If you got $200, I can go to work. Oh no. No. Nevertheless, he persisted. This job that rejected me reposted the job, probably because they didn't find anyone they liked, so I reapplied. Keep it up, buddy, I can do this all day. I'm not gonna lie, I think I've done that a few times. I'm pretty sure that's a repost of a posting that I've applied to before, and that probably means they don't want me, but I want the job. I would like it. Anyway, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Really quickly, I'd like to thank my patrons. Up on the screen, you should see my face palmers and my crazy case. Thank you all so much for supporting me in that way. If you're interested in becoming a patron, checking out the original posts from today's video, or sending me an email for possible inclusion in a future video, all of that information is in the description box, so be sure to check it out. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!